Hello and welcome to the Gaggle. I'm Peter LaBelle. The Gaggle is new, and so is this rubric, thumbs up and thumbs down, which we take a look at the major news events and individuals of the last week and assess who won and who lost. All right, George, in my mind, I have a winner and a loser. You go first, winner.
Well, I have a couple of winners. I thought that some aspects of Donald Trump's acceptance speech were winners. Yes, it was too long. Yes, it was boring. Yes, it was delivered very flatly. And yes, it was a kind of a laundry list, a la State of the Union. But what he did, and which hasn't been done by a politician in a long time, and certainly hasn't been done by the Democrats, is that he celebrated the idea of America as a country which has done specific things, which has made specific achievements. He named specific individuals. And he said, these are the heroic deeds that we've done. We're a land of pioneers, adventurers, explorers. We have a can-do spirit. And then that's what a country. I mean, if you ask any country, what is it you like about America? Say, yeah, these are the things I like about America. When you look at the Democrats, for them, it's always well, America's an experiment, it's an idea, it's an aspiration, we're heading towards a more perfect union, and it always becomes nebulous. So what is it you actually like about it? I mean, you think it's all racist, you think it's sexist, you think it's steeped in this evil of slavery and oppression and so on. What is it you like? Don't just say, well, because one day it might be perfect. That's just not good enough. So you have to actually name some things that you actually like. This is my idea of what America is. And I think Trump did that. And I thought those parts of his speech were moving.
Okay, my thumbs up, which, clench your fists here. The RNC, I probably will never, ever say it again, but they put on a very good convention in comparison to the Democrats. I'm pleased at least some of the messaging about helping the working class and the anti-war message got some airing. I was very pleased about that, even though there were countervailing elements within the convention. It shows that there's still an element within the party that is adhering to at least some of the principles that Donald Trump ran on in 2016. So it gave me a little bit of hope. But of course, Tom Cotton, what's her name, Haley, these people, they put a cold water on the whole convention in my mind, Nikki Haley. So for the first time and probably the last time, I give a thumbs up to the RNC. Okay, what's your thumbs down?
Thumbs down, I would say the media's fact-checking operation, where the media seem not to have any idea what a fact check is. I mean, if you say, oh, the capital of Russia is St. Petersburg, then you can say, yeah, fact check, that's wrong. No, but what the media do for fact checking are matters of opinion, matters of interpretation. You can disagree with Trump, and you can say, oh, I don't agree with his argument here, and what he's doing, he's exaggerating his achievements. But those are not facts. That's not factual, because you can make an argument either way. It's a debate. And they don't really understand what a fact check is. A fact check is when you actually make a factual error or willfully misstate something. But, if he says Biden believes in open borders, well, we can argue about that. Maybe that's unfair. Maybe it's not.
An interpretation.
It's not a fact. You can't say, well, no, because Joe Biden has said that he doesn't believe in open borders. Well, that's just simply, well, let's argue about that. That's not a fact.
A really good point in that is that, Trump is predisposed to using superlatives all the time. This is the greatest economy, okay, the greatest recovery. Well, my problem with that is that it's not factually incorrect, but it's factually correct for some people. And I wish he would make that distinction, okay? After, almost 5 years, haven't you gotten used to the superlative Trump, okay? I understand it. Maybe it's a 50-50 chance that I agree or disagree, but I don't call it a lie. Okay, I certainly don't. Okay, and it's basically a matter of degree. All right. So, what's your thumbs down?
Uh, so that's well, that
You
was
said a number of them. Okay, yeah, go
yeah,
ahead.
enough of that. I think thumb down without question. His daughter, Ivanka Trump, I think, is aspiring to be
Yes. Yes.
the successor to her father in a way that, well, we'll get rid of all the hard edges of my father, his roughness,
Yes.
his New York crudity, his tweets and so on, and you'll have me, Ivanka, as the acceptable face of Trumpism. I thought her speech was absolutely awful. I thought she gave her father really didn't help her at all, you know, by saying, well, he's not a racist, he's not a sexist. Well,
The
the
problem
adage
with
of
that,
advice
the,
here is it.
the problem with that is that in the legal system, you know, a spouse is not allowed to, you know, you're not forced to give evidence against your spouse. I mean,
But,
and you know, it's saying when the daughter and it's a daughter and father relationship, and you say my father is a great guy. Well, we all know. Well, you're a good daughter for saying that, but is it true? I don't know.
but
Okay.
also, and I agree with that, but also when you're defending, you're losing. If you're saying, well, look, my father is not a racist, yeah, what's the conclusion people come to? Yeah, your father is a racist, which is why you're trying to defend him. So it's a complete waste of time whenever you try to do that. No, no, no. Donald Trump is not a racist. I mean, you're only reinforcing it. So it's really completely pointless. And I think a kind of an Ivanka, attempt to take over the Republican Party would be an absolute disaster. I don't for one moment think that she'll succeed, but without question, she has her ambition, and then she's the one, the Trump child who believes that she's the successor.
But you know who I think could do it is Don Jr.
I agree.
I mean, you know, he's a bulldog, and that's what he's supposed to be. Okay, but I mean, over the years, he has really become a polished defender and advocate of his father, and I would say effectively. Okay. I mean, I don't always agree, but I think he's a very effective communicator, and he's really grown into it. And there's all this speculation that he would be the one. And when it was Ivanka giving the speech, I was thinking, huh? Are they going to back her? Because her brother is already well positioned. Okay. All right. I'll give you my thumbs down.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of similar to yours, CNN, because Chris Cuomo and Don Lemon and all of them, they're beginning to realize that their promotion of violence and covering for it is getting out of control. Okay, and they're taking a step back, not because they care about the people. It's because the focus groups are telling them that. Okay, and this is it was a calculated measure to say that they're peaceful protesters. And really even showing images of their correspondents at the microphone and all these flames behind them. You know, it's all fine here. We're okay. We're good to go. All right. So they're beginning to realize it's backfiring, and I have to give you credit because we've talked about this before. This reaction appears to have started. It has appeared to start because Trump is miraculously, I would say, he got a bump. He got a bump from the convention. Biden didn't get a bump.
Yeah, yeah.
And so everything is being rewritten right now. So CNN and all the rest of them, they really, it's an exercise in overreach, and they're overreaching, and it's backfiring on them. Which, as you quite correctly pointed out, now where it goes from here, we will see. Well, will these Democratic governors and mayors recognize that this isn't paying dividends for them? As a matter of fact, it's negative returns. So that's something that, you know, again, the media, they're wrong all the time. It's to what degree they're wrong and how they deal with their mischievous propaganda efforts. Okay. Anything else? We're almost done.
Well, I was going to mention that one of my thumbs up was President Putin's statement of support for Belarus. I thought that was a decisive intervention on his part. and a clear line in the sand saying that we regard this as internal Russian affairs, and we will not brook any kind of attempt by the Europeans or the Americans to stage a color revolution in Minsk. And I think that's a thumbs up, because the last thing anybody needs is yet another color revolution, some violent coup in Belarus.
You know, I was riding on the Moscow Underground right before we convened here, and I get notifications from the National Interest, the website, and they two articles. There are two lead articles. Is Trump making a comeback? And we've covered that a little bit here. And the second article is that Lukashenko is probably safe for the time being. And I read the article, and you know how the National Interest articles are pretty light, pretty short. They're not very analytical. They're more wishful thinking. And at the very end of the article, again, you know, the United States is preoccupied with internal affairs, and Putin is sitting pretty. America is not protecting its interests. It's like, what are its interests in Belarus? Like, it just befuddles me. You know, their overreach is so absurd. Okay, what is in the national interest of the United States and what's going on in Belarus? Okay, but of course, the world is the national. It's the international interests of the United States. I just thought that mindset. You know, that's what we need to retire. That's what we need to get rid of. We have to have a more restrained approach to these things. So, okay, first edition of Thumbs Up, Thumbs Down. I thought it went pretty well. You'll be up next time, George. Okay. All right, everyone watching this here, please like, share, and subscribe like you're supposed to. All right, bye-bye.